Hello, and welcome to this episode of Puck Drop. Now, I'm not 100% sure, because at the time of us making this, I haven't actually started editing yet, but I have a feeling this is going to be a long one. So sit back and relax and enjoy this 2020 NHL free agency look. Jacob, go ahead. You're running today's episode. Say hello. I'm sorry, guys. First of all, before we say hello to Jacob, that we are once again virtual for, I think, like the second or third episode in a row, due to the weather and all that stuff. But we will be back in person, hopefully next episode. Cross your fingers, guys. Anyway, let's get started. Jacob, take the mic as Jordan crossed his fingers. Go ahead.
What I did is I wrote the player's name and I wrote the team they were going to and whether it was a trade. If I wrote trade, I wrote trade, and if it's a free agent signing, I just wrote the city. So first, this is a big guy the Devils got, Ryan Murray. It was a cap dump from the Blue Jackets. They got him for a 5th round pick, which is an absolute steal.
What a steal! I love this trade because it gives them options on defense.
Yeah, we all know Jordan loves his defenseman,
especially on the left side. The Devils had nothing on the left side besides or after Will Butcher. So this is, and I think Ryan Murray would be fantastic with Damon Severson.
Shout out to Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know how I love defense. You know why I love defensemen? Because we're the Devils. When we were good, it was because of defense. And I like this guy. He's an absolute steal. He should give us some pretty good depth on the blue line. And
Jacob, shout out to your new chair.
Oh yeah, I did get a new chair.
Yeah.
My old chair only went up to like below my shoulders. It was really annoying. Now I have a new chair that I like.
Nice. Anything else to say, or should we move on?
I think this was an absolute steal for the Devils, a no-brainer for them.
Just before I move on, the Devils announced today the numbers that the 3 new acquisitions they had will wear. Ryan Murray, who normally wears 27, or who did wear 27 in Columbus, obviously can't wear that in New Jersey. It's a retired number from Scott Niedermayer. So he's going to be wearing number 22. We'll get to the other numbers when we get to the players. So this is rough chronological order, by the way. So now we have Henrik Lundqvist signed with the Washington Capitals. He was bought out by the New York Rangers.
Can I go first? I have to go first.
Sure.
So first of all, I thought, first of all, this is where Jacob comes in because he knows all the stats. How old is my Lundqvist? Well, the Rangers.
37.
37? I think
I thought he was 38.
No, he's 37.
I'm looking
okay.
at that.
All right. Whatever he is, and I'll put it down below, 38, 37, maybe another number, whatever. I think that it was not a good decision for him to continue his career. He clearly is going downhill, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
No, I'm going to have to disagree with you there.
Jordan, please. Okay, 38 years old. Fine. Whatever.
All right, fine.
Congratulations, Jacob. I never doubted your genius. Okay? I knew you were right. Anyway, first of all, I just want to say Lundqvist went down. He was going downhill with the Rangers. The Rangers, I understand. Listen, they had some talent coming in, but you still can't deny the fact that looking past the talent that's coming in, Lundqvist is not the same goalkeeper he was.
No, definitely not.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Jacob. I got this.
Go ahead. Let's see if you could change my opinion. Pretty sad.
Well, let's look at it this way. You're right. He was going downhill, but not that badly. He wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he's
good for his age. He's good for his age. He's serviceable. He's good for his age. The Rangers didn't want to re-sign him because, again, they have talent. And he's not starting.
He's not starting again. The Capitals didn't sign him to start. You're getting into
my point. Yeah. He's not starting for the Washington Capitals. They have Samsonov for that. I think this was a pretty good signing because he's going to back up Samsonov and he'll be serviceable.
So let me ask you a question then. Hold on. So he's getting paid a crap ton of money to be a backup.
How much money, Jacob? Can we get a fact check on money?
I think it was a 1.5 for 1 year. There's nothing.
You shouldn't be.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Whoa. Slow down here. You shouldn't be paying $1.5 million for a goalkeeper that's done no service for your team just to be a backup.
What
What
are
are
you
you
talking
talking
about,
about?
Ryan?
What
He's a
for a
serviceable backup.
backup?
That's a good
Yeah, for a
contract.
serviceable
Oh my
backup who plays
God.
25 to 30
This guy,
games,
hold on.
1.5 million is nothing. Like
I
that's
know. I thought he was getting paid less than that. $1.5 million as a 38-year-old backup goalkeeper. Don't you want to give some AHL guys?
He's
come on.
a
This is
serviceable
backup
he's a
goalkeeper.
serviceable
This
backup
is an
that can back
insult
up
to
Samsonov.
Henrik Lundqvist.
What's your problem with Henrik Lundqvist?
I don't.
He's fine, and he got a decent
respect
next
contract.
player.
Let's
Respect.
move on.
No, go back. I demand you to go back. You have to let me finish what I'm saying. Listen, this is an insult, guys. He is getting paid $1.5 million to be the backup goalkeeper on a team that does not need what's it called? I forgot the word. Veterans.
A backup goaltender.
Veterans. You're getting paid $1.5 million. You've done no service to the Capitals yet. Okay? He's 38 years old. The Capitals don't need veterans. That's not what they need. What they need is a new generation to come in. That's my opinion. Let's
yes,
move on.
okay.
Right, yeah,
but he
fine.
signed a 1-year contract. He's gonna be gone after this.
All right,
year.
let's move on. People know
Now
we're right.
we have a former New Jersey Devil. We had former New York Ranger, now a former New Jersey Devil. Wayne Simmons, the Wayne train, signed a 1-year, I believe also 1-year, 1.5 million for Wayne Simmons in Toronto. Wayne Simmons signed in Toronto, I believe also 1-year, 1.5 million. And the Maple Leafs needed grit. They needed a big guy to come in. So I think Wayne Simmons is a fantastic fit for Toronto.
I always like when I liked when the Devils signed him, and I liked that the Maple Leafs signed him because they're not getting the most talented guy on the ice. They're getting a physical leader on the ice who can put up a bit of offense. He's okay, but they're getting a physical leader who can corral the young guys and stick up for his team. I like this signing.
So, as the only sane person on Puck Drop, apparently, I would just like to say that Wayne Simmons, I'm going to miss him on the Devils, honestly. I thought he was a fantastic Devil for the short amount of time he was with us. He was a leader. He stepped up to the plate. It was almost like watching a young player. I mean, he wasn't a star, but you could really tell he belonged on the Devils for the short time he was with the Devils, and I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, so will we. Yeah. He was a veteran leader, and that's what we got out of him.
All right. Next one, we're not going to spend too much time on this. Bobby Ryan, he was bought out by the Ottawa Senators.
You deserve a gold sticker with a star saying "Good job." Nobody cares about it.
He signed
Eugene.
1 year, 1.2 million with the Red Wings. John Hayden, who the Devils did not give a qualifying offer to, signed I believe 1 year, 1 million, or maybe a little bit less, maybe 1 year, 975. Okay, with the Arizona Coyotes.
Cool.
Physical bottom six forward. It's kind of, even though it's a former Devil, it's kind of nothing signing. Then Radko Gudas signed a 3-year contract worth $2 million, I believe, with the Florida Panthers. This is a guy I wanted the Devils to get. He's a big, physical, bottom four defenseman who shoots right. That is exactly what the Devils need, but he went to Florida. Obviously.
Yeah, I don't think they were going to get him, but I think we should have gotten him.
And then Tyler Pitlick signed in Arizona. I don't remember the exact cap. John Merrill signed, which is, again, another steal for Detroit, a guy who I wanted the Devils to get. 1 year, $925K, which is
that's
a
steal
nothing.
and a half.
Looks like Hockey Town is really making a run for its money finally. Long time since we've seen them succeed.
What? Okay, whatever.
And then
you disagree? Hold on. What stupid thing are you going to say now, Jordan? They were competitive. Yes.
They're not trying to be competitive this year. I don't know where you're getting that.
But I'm trying to say, Jordan, now I never ever made that claim, though.
Oh, I thought you did. Let's move on.
What I was saying was that Detroit has been Hockey Town. They are America's hockey team, okay? They're not the most popular team in the country, in the U.S. I'm sorry. They're not the most popular team in the league, but they are definitely one of the more popular teams in the U.S. This past couple of years, they have not been making a run for their money. Finally, they really seem like they're progressing forward. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they're progressing forward. Yeah.
Yeah, all I wanted to say.
And then Carter Verhaeghe, decent bottom six forward, who Tampa did not give a qualifying offer to. He stays in the state of Florida, though, and signs with the Florida Panthers. Cam Talbot, who's a guy who the Devils were talking to,
remember
actually,
that.
but he signed with Minnesota instead. Though I don't really care the Devils didn't sign Cam Talbot because they got someone better on a better contract. But Kyle Turris, who was bought out by Nashville, signed a 2-year deal in Edmonton, I believe, $1.5 million for Kyle Turris. Kevin Rooney signed with the Rangers.
Rooney!
Traitor.
The Rangers.
I actually thought that Kevin Rooney was when they traded for Kevin Rooney, I had no idea what he was.
They didn't trade for Kevin Rooney.
They didn't trade for Kevin Rooney.
No, he was undrafted, I think.
Who am I? I'm thinking of Patrick Maroon. Never mind. Yeah, Kevin Rooney. I think he's a good player. Don't think he's a star.
He's a.
Can I finish?
Bottom six kind of guy.
May I finish or no?
Go.
Please. All right, Kevin Rooney. I'm sorry I messed him up with Patrick Maroon. I think they're both good players. He's a relatively younger player. I have respect for him. I think he's not a fantastic player, but he's property of the New Jersey Devils. He was built by the Devils system, and it's unfortunate, but this Rangers team spitting out youth right now is going to take advantage of our development.
Well, Kevin Rooney is a bottom line forward who can.
Yeah, he's fine to add some depth. He's not
good. He's good defensively. He's one of the better forwards defensively for the Devils this past year, but he brings absolutely nothing.
Let me put it this way.
No, I disagree. I think he brings some. I think he brings some depth in the forwards core. He could play fourth line, something like that. You know, I think this is a fine.
So here's what I want to say real quick about Kevin Rooney. So you guys know how I love all the underrated players. You know, I'm a big TJ Oshie, Kyle Palmieri type of thing. I love the players.
TJ Oshie isn't that underrated.
He's pretty underrated. He's playing second line hockey. My point is that I think that Kevin Rooney is better than most people think he is. I see things out of Kevin Rooney that most people don't. It's like Brian Boyle. Everyone's like, he wasn't that good on the Devils. He didn't do it.
No, Boyle was good.
Whoa. Whoa. Let me finish, okay? I was imitating other people, but I saw him as a good behind-the-scenes player. I see Kevin Rooney as a good behind-the-scenes player. People don't notice the things he does. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
I think he's fine. He had some depth, and it was a good signing.
I agree with that. Kevin Rooney, he does the things that people don't notice. He's good defensively. I just don't think
he's not a superstar.
Yeah.
No, I am not saying by any means he's a superstar. I am just saying that he does a lot of things behind the scenes that he deserves respect for that nobody else sees, like a Brian Boyle.
All right, let's get into the juicy stuff here.
All right,
Braden
Holtby, 2-year, 7. I think 2-year, like $8 million contract, something like that, with the Vancouver Canucks. And
actually not that much of an overpayment.
Yeah, I expect
I think it's an okay contract. Yeah, it's an okay contract.
Yeah, I expected him to get like $6 million per year, but this is pretty good. It's $4 million. I mean, he could bounce back easily.
Definitely, yeah. Now this is the guy that Vancouver lost, Jacob Markstrom, who signed 6 years, $6 million in Calgary. And this is Calgary now went from having a meh goaltending tandem to having a very, very good goaltending tandem. Jacob Markstrom and David Rittich, 2 very good goaltenders in the NHL. Mm-hmm. Jacob Markstrom, I even say, at least this past season, was elite.
Yeah.
And then Alex Wemberg, who's bought out by Columbus, signed with Florida. Mark Jankowski, a depth forward from Calgary, who did not see a qualifying offer, signed in Pittsburgh. Jack Johnson signed with the New York Rangers. The worst player in the entire NHL signed with the Rangers.
Good job, Rangers. Good job. We love your Rangers. Don't ever change.
And guys, let's not forget what I told Raghav. This is not their year. We have 1 more year to make fun of them.
Good.
I just realized
I
only put one G in the bigger.
So it's Bygare, right?
Even Bygare low.
Yeah, Bygare low.
All right, Mark Borbansky, decent bottom 4 defenseman.
Wait, is it not pronounced? Hold on, go back. Is it not pronounced Borowicki?
No, Borbansky.
Oh, I've been calling him that for like 5 years. All right, next.
Kevin Shattenkirk, a bit of an overpayment in my opinion. 3 years, 3.9 million in Anaheim. Like, not a terrible contract, but not a contract. Like if I was to sign Shattenkirk, I would give him 2.5 million max.
I actually would give him more like 3 mil.
He
I agree with Jordan.
he had a good year on Tampa last year, but he played on Tampa, and also there were so many other defensemen ahead of him in the depth chart. He was their fourth.
Yeah.
He was the fourth best defenseman on that team. He's
And
not going to
I know
have
this is
that
gonna
type
be
of
very
non-pressure in Anaheim. He's one of the.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's really only a difference of 500K. I just think we should give him the benefit of the doubt here.
I agree with Jordan, and I'm going to say something that's very controversial, and I just want you guys to listen into what I say and not freak out about it. It's almost like the case of the Taylor Hall, except he's not the star of the team, okay? He had a fantastic season, obviously not a Hart Trophy season, but you never know. Things like the injury bug can change his career, and he might mean nothing after that.
I don't know. I think we give him the benefit of the doubt before
I agree.
downing him.
Another Nashville signed another good bottom four defenseman, Matt Benning, who I want again, another guy I wanted the Devils to sign in Nashville. Justin Schultz signed 2 years, $8 million, $4 million per for Justin Schultz, which is definitely a huge overpayment. Justin Schultz was great for a couple of years, but the past 2 seasons has not been very good at all. So if I would give Justin Schultz like $2 million max. So
Agreed.
I think Washington.
I think you're being a little generous, but I'll just agree with you for the sake of agreement.
I think Washington definitely overpaid him. Vinny Hinostroza, a guy that is not qualified by.
Hold on a minute, Jacob. I want you to go back for a second. If Washington is going to start overpaying their players, I don't think they should be paying $1.5 million for a 38-year-old goaltender. That's just proving my point. Next. You don't want to unnecessarily run into cap. Continue.
Vinny Hinostroza, guy that was not qualified by Arizona, signed I believe, 1-year deal in Florida. And this was one of the bigger signings, this was a big signing the night of free agency that started off a string of pretty big signings. TJ Brody signing 4 years, $5 million per in Toronto. In my opinion, a bit of an overpayment for TJ Brody. He's a
Agreed, but he is still a good player.
He's a very good player, terrific in his own end, and can jump up and on the attack as well. But $5 million for that is the $5 million for that is not worth it. I give him.
I think more like 4 mil is a pretty good deal. But again, big signing by Toronto, and you know what?
It's exactly what they need.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Ryan, what were you gonna say?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that I do think that Toronto overpaid him a little bit. TJ Brody is going to be run for their money. He's going to be a good player, and I think that they should be very happy to have him. I almost spit.
Yeah, it's what they need.
Yeah.
Nashville signed Nick Cousins, who is a guy who played actually very well for Vegas during the playoffs and during the end of the regular season. They didn't qualify him though, as they were in a bit of cap trouble. Then this was another big signing. Torrey Krug signed a 7-year contract, $6.5 million per, with the St. Louis Blues, which
I think that's
apparently
a great
Boston.
Deal.
The last Torrey Krug himself said the last time that he got an offer from Boston was over a year before free agency.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boston is.
He was offered an extension the beginning of the 2019-20 season. They never offered him a contract after that.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's a big no-no, Boston. You undervalued Torrey Krug, Boston, and they lost Pietrangelo, but this is a good consolation prize.
Good consolation prize for St. Louis. Then Calgary signs Chris Tanev, 4 years, $60 million, $4 million per. Tanev is a good player, but again, an overpayment definitely for Chris Tanev. I give him more in the probably 2 to 3 years, and maybe $3 million. 4 years, $4 million seems a bit excessive. And then Devils, another signing the Devils made that night. Corey Crawford was signed a 2-year, $7.8 million contract, $3.9 million AAV. With the New Jersey Devils. And
let me know. What do you think? I want to hear this.
Maybe a bit of an overpayment, but I think he
I don't-
provides
that is not
good
an
veteran
overpayment.
leadership. I don't know. I mean, it's a bit,
I don't think
it's
you've
a
been keeping.
little.
I don't
it's-
think you've been keeping up with Corey Crawford because if he had one not so great year where he was recovering from a concussion 2018-19, but besides that, he has had, I believe, a 915 or better save percentage every other year of his career, besides for one other year. So
Yeah.
Corey
Well, I
Crawford's
mean,
Crawford's been one of the most good, consistent, even in his old age. He's been one of the most consistent goalies in the league.
yeah,
So
my
I love
problem
it.
is his age. He could fall off a cliff, especially in a new place. I think I would, yeah, you know what? It's not that big of an overpayment, but it's what the Devils need right now. So overall, pretty good signing. Gets the Jordan stamp of approval.
Yes.
And also for sorry, Ryan, you can go.
Okay, thank you. Yep. So the only thing I want to say is I understand that a lot of you may be saying Blackwood, 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 Blackwood. And I think that's the right thing to say, especially because they just bought out Corey Schneider for the purpose of Blackwood, Blackwood, Blackwood. They're not rolling with Schneider anymore. But I think that, I just think it's about time that the Devils, just they get a solid goalkeeper. I mean, I don't know.
What?
When was the last time the Devils had a goaltending tandem that wasn't like this good?
Yeah, no, they've always Blackwood. Don't get me wrong, is a fantastic player, and I think, and you guys are going to disagree with me, but you got to think about it and sleep over it. And you might agree with me one day. I think that Blackwood could possibly be a Stanley Cup goalkeeper. It's just that. Don't freak out. You got to think about that. But it's just that it's really, really, really good to see a regular NHL player that everybody knows and respects in goal for the Devils, because Schneider provided that too long ago, just in my opinion.
I agree. I still think it's a little bit of an overpayment, but the Devils needed this. Provides not only good goaltending, but veteran leadership, and gives Blackwood the ability to take some time off from goaltending. You can't play every night. You're gonna burn out.
I'm gonna say something.
This is what I wanted to say real quick. This is what I was trying to say. The Devils, of course, we all love Blackwood. He's a fantastic player. It's just that we always get nervous for him. With Crawford, at least for now, I feel comfortable with him. I trust him. He is a respected goalkeeper.
And the thing is with Crawford last season, you can't say, oh, well, he was playing in front of a good defense. He played last year. He put up a 917 save percentage in front of a bottom 7 defense in the NHL in Chicago. So a fantastic pickup for the Devils at a reasonable price on a 2-year deal. Let's move on. This is a fantastic contract. Tyson Barrie, 1 year, $3.75 million to play in Edmonton, where he will thrive. Tyson Barrie is first and foremost a first unit power play quarterback, and he's going to get to play with Draisaitl, McDavid, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And if he is utilized correctly in Edmonton, and during a full 82 game season, which I'm not saying that NHL is going to do it, but if there was a full 82 game season, I can see him putting up 60 points. So
yeah, I think they just complement each other very well. It was a good signing because they just complement each other. They'll mesh very well, and he could really give some oomph to that offense.
The blue line.
Or the blue line. Sorry, brain fart.
All right, let's move on.
Mikko Koivuk, former captain of the Minnesota Wild for over a decade, left the Wild and signed the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he claimed, "I want to win." So he said, I actually made a tweet about this. He said, "I want to win," and then he goes and signs with the least successful franchise in NHL history.
Bruh.
But Ryan,
what is your priorities?
Editing, Ryan, please show a picture of that tweet that I made.
Hold on. Jordan, when you said that, there was a massive echo.
Echo.
No. Did you hear that, Jacob?
No. All right, let's move on.
I guess
Cody can sign with the Buffalo Sabres. 2 years, I think $2.25 million. Jesper Fast, a guy I really wanted the Devils to sign.
I wanted Jesper Fast.
I wanted the Devils to have all the Jespers, Brad, Boquist, and Fast. So he signed with
And
Carolina.
you know what? Not
3
only
years, $2
will
million.
he be great with the Devils, his last name is literally Fast. What more could you possibly want out of a hockey player?
All right, so he
Come
signed 3
on.
years,
Yeah,
$2 million,
yeah.
or $2 million AAV with Carolina. Fantastic. By the way, Carolina's been having an amazing offseason. And then this was a trade. Nikita Zadorov Nikita Zadorov, basically Zadorov for Saad. There was 2 other like minor leaguers who went both ways in the trade. It was basically Saad for Nikita
but
Zadorov.
that's
Big
not something
win
to
for
sleep on.
Colorado. Zadorov is an okay defenseman, but Brandon Saad injects even more offense into that already lethal Colorado top 6. And then we have another trade, Joey Anderson, for 1-for-1 for Andreas Janssen to the New Jersey Devils. And I'm just gonna say, even though I do love Joey Anderson, he's a great player. I still love this trade for the Devils. The Devils just got basically plus 20 to 30 points. Anderson's a good bottom 6
Yes, but
guy.
let me also just say, what happens when the Devils trade for a good player or sign a good player in the off season?
They turn into poop.
Exactly.
But hopefully this doesn't happen. Yeah, I agree with this. I definitely agree with this trade. Joey Anderson was more of a
bottom 6 guy.
was more of a depth guy. Yeah. He was more of a depth guy. Sorry, I'm having all the brain farts. He's more of a depth guy, and this was a pretty good trade because again, 20 to 30 points.
It was 20 to 30 goals, I think. So Andreas Janssen.
That's even better.
Andreas Janssen, we plays next to Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. He could definitely score 20 to 30 goals. We need the next player, Craig Smith, signed in Boston. This was a fantastic sign for Boston. Another player I really want the Devils to get. Probably analytically, one of the best players in this trading class. And Boston got him at absolute steal.
But
3 years.
Not signing Torrey Krug.
Toronto signed Zach Bogosian.
All right.
Mark Pysyk signed in Dallas. Thomas Greiss signed 2 years, I believe, 3.5 with Detroit. And they also signed Troy Stetcher, 2 years, 1.7. Johan Larson signed in Arizona, who is a great depth player. Austin Watson signed in Ottawa. Trevor Van Riemsdyk signed in Washington. Another guy I really wanted the Devils to get for the blue line. And a fantastic depth piece on a blue line that was kind of drying out in Washington after Orlov and Carlson, of course. Then Vladislav, another great signing by the trade, Vladislav Domestikov, signing there. Derek Forbort signed 1 year, $1 million in Winnipeg. Kyle Clifford signed in St. Louis. And
Taylor Hall to Buffalo. What are you doing, Taylor Hall? What are you doing? Come on, man.
I actually get it.
Going to Buffalo
I think you guys cared
for a year?
I think
Come on, man.
Come on.
Do you want to win on a long-term contract like you're supposed to do? Come on, man.
I actually
Taylor Hall's
understand.
agent. Fire Taylor Hall's agent.
I actually understand. He makes the most this year, for this 1 year, he makes the most money he possibly can, coming off of a down year, one of the worst years he's had in a while. And then, so he comes to Buffalo so you can play with Jack Eichel for a year, score a bunch of points, and then make more money with a contender next offseason. So it actually does make a lot of sense.
But he's going to be a year older, and he could still be bad this season. It's a very high-risk, high-reward thing. I understand. But I still think, come on, Taylor Hall's agent.
Taylor Hall's definitely...
Hold on. I have to say that although I don't think Taylor Hall actually belonged on Buffalo, I don't think it was a horrible decision on him and his agent's behalf. I think he's on a fine contract, and I think that Buffalo's in a better situation than the Devils are. Yes, I know. Yeah.
No, not really.
The Devils, listen to me. It doesn't seem like it is, but every single time the Devils sign a player who we think is going to magically turn this franchise around, it becomes a mess. So I'm going to say that almost every team.
I don't know. I'm not sure if you know this, but Buffalo is going through the same exact thing, and have been going through the same exact thing for a decade.
Exactly.
Yes, but Buffalo,
they were literally one pick
Buffalo's
higher than us in the draft.
closer to the playoffs the past 3 years, Buffalo's been closer to the playoffs than the Devils.
They're basically
Barely.
us, though.
The Devils and Sabres have the same amount of points.
So they're in better shape than them because they're in front of them. And if they're having the same problem, they just signed Taylor Hall. You guys love Taylor Hall. He's the best player in the NHL.
No, what are you talking about? I didn't want the Devils to sign Taylor Hall. We don't think he's about. You know what? Another video. Let's move on.
Yes, another video. Just watch these crazy people defend him. All right.
Jimmy Vesey signed in Toronto 1 year. Corey Schneider signed the New York Islanders, which is, by the way, good for Corey. He's getting another opportunity, and I understand why some of the Islanders close to home, so he doesn't have to move his family across the country just to keep playing.
Exactly, and again, I don't know. He could bounce back. The Islanders have some wacky success with goaltenders, and Lou Lamoriello can work his magic. I don't know.
Tyler Toffoli, 4 years, $4.25 million with the Montreal Canadiens. This is a great signing for Montreal. He's not too old. In 4 years, he's not going to be too old, and it's a very reasonable cap hit for Tyler Toffoli. Devon Toews was traded to the Colorado Avalanche for 2 second-round picks, which Devon Toews analytically, and if you look at advanced analytics, Devon Toews is one of the better defensemen in the NHL. So this is a fantastic pickup for Colorado. Eric Gustafsson signed in Philly, 1 year, $3 million. Brad Richardson signed in Nashville. Matthias Janmark signed in Chicago. Same with Lucas Wallmark. And then this was the big one. Alex Pietrangelo to Vegas, 7 years, $8.8 million.
I'm sorry. I'm a Devils fan first, but as I've always been, the Vegas Golden Knights, I almost said the Golden Vegas Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights have always been my favorite team since day one, so you can't call me a secondary bandwagon. Alex Pietrangelo has been communicating with some of the Vegas greats. Alex Stone, did you hear about that on Twitter?
Mark Stone, you mean?
Mark Stone, sorry. Mark Stone.
Dude, are you fake fan Ryan? Fake fan Ryan calling it.
Fake fan. You're the brain farter. I made 1 brain fart today. You've made 6. Anyway,
fine.
Moving on.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Ryan George, fair enough. Point is, this is the next big thing for Vegas, and I think the casinos are going to be rumbling with Alex Pietrangelo.
They did unfortunately have to trade Nate Schmidt though to make cap room for him. And Paul Stastny.
Vegas is going to run into some cap trouble.
They had to trade Stastny and Schmidt. So next.
Yeah, Vegas is definitely going to run into some cap trouble.
Nate Schmidt was traded to Vancouver for a 2022 third-round pick. Matt Nieto signed in San Jose for 1 year, $700K. Aaron Dell signed in Toronto on a 1 year, $900,000 contract. And what this says to me is they're going to trade. I think this signing says to me they're probably going to trade Freddie Anderson. That's what it's saying to me. I don't know if it's necessarily true. I'm just saying. Then Greg McKegg signing in Boston. This was the most and final signing of Evgeny Dadonov signing in Ottawa, 3 years, $5 million. And a good signing for the Ottawa Senators. And they are starting to build a good core.
Yeah.
But Eugene's going to mess it up as always.
Yes.
All right, let's wrap up quickly, guys.
All right. I think that's all for today.
Good video.
Do you guys approve of a quick wrap up real quick from me?
Go ahead.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment down below on what do you think of this video and the free agency actions. And we did have some trades in there as well. As you guys all know, the ever popular follow us on Instagram, puck_drop.LHS.source. That's right, puck_drop.LHS.source. And our Twitter handle is Go ahead, Jacob.
Go ahead, Jacob.
At LHS Puck Drop.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Yeah.